Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? I see some smiles, nods. Hey, thanks for responding. I like that. I can hear you. You don't have a microphone, so that says something. All right. Hey, welcome. Welcome to I.O. This is day 2. Welcome to this session. And to all of you out there on the live stream and watching the recording, thank you for joining us. My name is Joel Kalmanovich. I'm a product manager on Google Maps APIs. And my goal is to help you bring your users the world by making it your own, however works best for you. Now, maps may help us understand and access the world, and they're an incredibly important part of our lives. We all have really busy lives, so how important are maps really? Being part of Google, I like to look at search for my answers. And if we look at the entirety of human interest through queries on Google, it turns out that about 1 in every 5 searches is location related. That's pretty significant. And on mobile, that number is almost 1 in 3. And mobile is growing faster. People doing location-related searches need a variety of answers and services to match their needs, provided through a whole ecosystem of products and developers. That's where you come in. So, we actually have a very large and diverse community of developers with over 2 million apps and sites using our Google Maps APIs every week. And here you are. I'd actually like to ask you all if you could just raise one hand with me. You know, if you're at I.O., raise your hand. Come on, seriously, all of you in the audience. I'm talking to you. Yeah, come on, stick your hand up. OK, thank you. That's almost everyone. No, keep it up. There we go, keep it here. Now, lower your hand if you've never used Google Maps APIs. I only see a few hands go down. That's impressive. Thank you very much for coming. I hope you learned something new and useful today. For those of you who didn't raise your hands, the people who did are your new best friends. Go talk to them and ask them how you want to use Google Maps APIs. Now, if you have more questions, you can come to our office hours as well, or stick around for the Q&A after the show. So we have a very engaged community. All of you watching as well. We really appreciate it. In fact, I'd like to show you what level of engagement we've been seeing from all of you out there. Today, I'm excited to share that we serve over 2 billion maps to users every single day through Google Maps APIs. That is absolutely amazing. It reinforces how, when we work together, we can bring so much for so many people. And for those of you who want to join us, or all of you who already know quite a bit and who'd like to learn more, we have a rich collection of APIs that give you solutions people trust. From markers to elevation, places to street view, and more. These are all icons from our APIs that you can build on, and we'll dig into a few of the visual ones later on. But first, I would like to change gears and share something new with you. As we looked at how our consumer and developer communities use Google Maps and our APIs, we saw a gap. Different developers have different needs, and different use cases for users involve different needs as well. They have different goals. In fact, sometimes existing Google Maps apps features can serve users really well, and you don't always want to have to integrate all of those services directly inside of your app. So, to make those moments easier, we're now introducing Google Maps URLs. We've heard your feedback. Mapping is sometimes not a core part of your app, but you need the functionality to complete your user journey. In these cases, you don't want to have to get an API key. You don't want to have to learn all these different libraries, and few people like having to duplicate similar work across platforms. So Maps URLs offer a simple, straightforward solution that work for you and your users anywhere. We focused on a few key use cases that we think will have you covered for the most common mapping needs. I'm going to take you through a few complete code examples across all 4 of these to show you just how simple Maps URLs really are. We'll start where everything started at Google, with search. To trigger a search, we just build a URL in this format with a query parameter of our choice. The URL launches Google Maps and instructs it to perform the search immediately. Now, by including an area to search, you can show what's around a particular place. I've gone for sushi near our conference, but you can see how this would be useful to find schools near a new home that your user may be interested in, or restaurants near a hotel they have just booked. You can also leave out any reference to location and just put sushi, for example, to let the end user search for places near them. And you don't have to ask for or use the location permission to do this. In your own app, you don't need to worry about it. You can delegate that work to Google Maps. And then you can direct people to their nearest stores, service providers, parks, or anything else you can think of without having to think about how you do it. If it's on Google Maps, you can find it. And just like searching in Google Maps, if your query returns one top result, you get a little more. Here, I've referred to our venue by name, and I've got a nice pin that's gone on the map with a label, a place sheet at the bottom that shows reviews, a directions button, and a Street View thumbnail. And of course, I can swipe the place sheet up to get more information. If you want to showcase a particular store or a particular location or service provider, this gives users a lot of that info that we already have on Google Maps. And if you're handling place IDs already from our other APIs, like an autocomplete, you can also use them to target the place directly. If you want to learn more about this, I really recommend checking out our next location and maps talk on a sense of place tomorrow morning at 9:30 right here. And for those of you watching online, you can find this by name, a sense of place. Another classic use case on a map is directions. We all need to get where we're going. And we're here to help your users find their way. But we've also taken this a step further, and we've included waypoints that you can route users however you need to. You can also use this yourself. Say if you work at the nearby NASA Ames facility and you need to drop your kids off at childcare, go to work, grab them on the way home, and that's one URL, actually. It's as simple as putting in the waypoints you need as a query parameter under the waypoints parameter there, separated by a pipe. And then you're good to go by the travel mode of your choice. Waypoints are great for anyone with very complicated or even simple but just a little bit extra more routing needs than what you would get by default. But if you're feeling creative, you can also use them to draw something, maybe a little something that looks like I/O. Now, let's do something more practical. Here, we've kept the directions endpoint, shown in blue on the first line of code there, but we've changed the parameters. The destination is now a collection of Android statues. If you haven't seen them, I recommend them. And since they're a short bike ride away, I've changed the travel mode to suit. But more importantly, I've added a parameter to start navigation immediately. This is really handy, especially for situations where you want your users to be able to get somewhere without having to touch their device. For example, if you're using our speech APIs or the Assistant SDK. Now, we've also dropped the origin parameter. So maps will just start navigating from wherever your user is in the real world. Again, this is another example of not needing to worry about location permissions. Wherever the user is, we'll handle it. Now, the day has been getting a little long, right? So you might be more concerned with local traffic than checking out our Androids. I wouldn't blame you. So here under the endpoint, now I've got a map and a layer of my choice at the zoom level we want. And you may notice that the screenshot was taken before I/O because all the traffic lines are green, or almost all of them. Yes. But you can leave the center blank, and again, it'll just focus on user location. Or, as I've done here, you can specify a lat-long coordinate to focus the camera exactly where you need it. Now, this is great for scenarios where you want to give users the sense of an area around a business or a service provider, or even a piece of real estate that they might be interested in. And we can dig a little deeper into this use case. If we go from a top-down view, we can switch to our immersive imagery. With Street View, you can offer people the experience of really being there, whether it's at the Grand Canyon, a store they've never been to, or a potential new home. Street View is our panoramic imagery, or PANO for short. And so we've changed the map action parameter on the second line there to match, signaling that we want a PANO at the viewpoint location that we've entered as a lat-long coordinate. You can also specify the Pano ID if you already have it from our other Street View APIs, similar to the Place ID that we called out a few slides ago. Now, I just showed you an iOS mock, and that switched over to iOS here because this is all platform agnostic. This is available on any platform. For example, Google Maps is a popular mapping app on iOS, but there are devices out there that don't have it installed. For any device that does not have a Google Maps native app installed, the URL will be handled by Google Maps web apps in a browser. And while not all platforms support every bit of functionality, there's one specific example I would like to call out here. Navigation doesn't work on web maps. So, what happens if you try and start navigation and your user's using a web map? We simply gracefully ignore that parameter, show them directions, and it works anyway. We didn't want to make it more complicated. We wanted to be able to offer this across every platform. So this graceful fallback has allowed us to do so and make it available everywhere. Speaking of available, Maps URLs are actually live right now. And you can give them a shot right after the session. I don't see anyone looking down at their phones yet, so thanks for waiting. There's no setup necessary, and we've tried to make the syntax so simple that you can literally type one of these up yourself. What you've been seeing on these slides is all you need. Now, one other parameter that I'd like to call out that I haven't mentioned yet, but you've been seeing, is this first one called API. This is mandatory for these URLs to work, and it functions as our versioning system for the API. Today, we're launching version 1. And of course, you can enter your own values for all of these other parameters. That's kind of the point. So if you want to find a dive bar instead of a coffee place, or if you have your own business or a customer's business, you can just enter enough for an exact match, and you'll get that places sheet that I mentioned before. And yes, I do have a link for you with documentation at the end of the session. I've got one more example for you. Another one of these navigation cases. Some of you may have to get to the airport to go home. Again, this is really easy, though. And since it's just a URL, you can use any standard URL constructing library to build these and handle things like sanitizing your input values or dealing with escaped characters. You don't have to worry about that, and neither do we. So let's take a step back. We've had a good look at how Maps URLs can work for you and some of the things that you can use them for. This is great for getting our primary Google Maps consumer use cases working for you and your users quickly and easily. But how does this relate to the rest of our Maps APIs? All those of you who've raised your hands are pretty familiar with the other ones we've already got out there today. There's a trade-off between the simplicity of delegating to another app all this work and the power of building and customizing something yourself. I'd like to help you get a sense of how we can decide what to do when we face this trade-off. So I'm going to walk you through some of our deeper APIs and what they can offer you beyond Maps URLs. When you need that power of flexibility, when you really need to take it to the level of building a map into your app, that's when we recommend our Maps APIs. So, you might remember those little logos I showed you at the beginning. Well, here they all are expanded out to our range of APIs across the 4 major platforms we've got support on. We'll see how just a few of these can take you above and beyond a regular map. Now let's begin with one of the most useful things that you can do on a map, which is point something out. You can drop markers with Maps URLs. Using our Maps URLs, you can just get one out there, but it has to be a search result of some kind. And it'll either be a single marker or a range of results for your query, and it only will show you existing places, or just a lat-long pin. If you want any interaction with your data on the map, beyond just putting a single point there, you want to customize the markers, you need our Maps APIs. So, here we're looking at Italian restaurants in Rome. I'm going to start with some public data to keep it simple. We took the metadata about the restaurant, and we actually used the rating to adjust the contrast of the marker pin. The brighter, the better the rating. And for the very hottest places to eat, we put some subtle animating steam on top. And this is all just using our publicly available Google Maps APIs. But I did mention visualizing your own data as well. So let's have a look at what we can do with that. Let's say if you've got a high ratio of markers per area, you can cluster them to clean up your UI while still showing useful information to the user. Last time that I moved, I actually found this personally really helpful on the real estate site that I was using, because at a low level of zoom, I could get a broad sense of how many properties are available in a given location. And when I zoomed in higher, I could see exactly where they were and tap on the marker to get more information. Clustering is part of the util library that we maintain on GitHub for our Google Maps SDK for iOS, and then we have a similar clustering library in the util library for JavaScript and Android. Now, speaking of Android, here you can see another case. If you want to visualize something more granular than a place, something that's more about the data on the map, heat maps are a great way to do this. So let's say if you want to look at something like housing prices, or sea level changing, or rainfall, or anything like that that can be very granular. It's more about the map than a place. These can be really easy to generate. Just plug a data set in, like a JSON array, and you're good to go. We will do all the rendering for you. Heat maps are available in Android and JavaScript. Another useful feature of our Maps API is camera animations. Now, these are a great way to show off a particular place of interest to your users from different perspectives, whether it's 3D buildings like we have here, or local satellite imagery. Those same use cases that I mentioned before for Maps URLs, for giving people the sense of what an area is like, now you could take them on a little tour instead of just giving them a top-down view. Speaking of top-down, ground overlays offer an unlimited customization option for you by covering the base map completely. So here we see an example of a historical map of a modern satellite view. We've got the ground overlay, and the historical map is pasted straight onto the base map there. It's attached to the base map and will rotate with it. Now, this can be really fascinating if you love history. I have some friends who like looking at old maps of cities. Personally, I'm more of a fan of hiking, though. So I think it would be great to be able to see hiking trails like this in an app without having to deal with the paper. We can also look towards the future. I recently read about some projects using Google Maps to visualize sea level rise projections. It's really important to think about how our planet is changing, but it can be hard when it's on such a large scale. Personally, being able to see how places that I knew would be changing right there on the map helped me connect with that. And additionally, for those who have the data, they can just use a ground overlay to do this and just take their visualization and put it on maps. But I've also seen some implementations where they used our elevation API to calculate shoreline changes dynamically, directly on our maps. Now, coming back to the present, we also have ephemeral events, things that don't last a long time, like this very conference. And a ground overlay can be used to put localized geodata in the form of a venue map directly on a Google map in our app that we've provided you. Ground overlays have a range of use cases, but if you want to customize the base map itself at scale, that's another story. Styling lets you choose your own color scheme for the Google Maps that you get from our APIs. And we brought this to mobile platforms last year. It's proven to be a popular way to customize the visuals to suit your needs. You can write custom JSON or generate your own styles easily with our online WYSIWYG wizard, say that 3 times fast, and export them from there. This is a great tool to help you quickly iterate and get a feel for how your style will look right there on the map. Now, however you get your inspiration for a styling scheme, the implementation is the same. Now here, I'm going to show you a JavaScript example. I'm initializing a new map object at the top, and then all I have to do is provide the style property, which is a collection of subproperties. And any that I specify override the default. So first, I'm going to clear out the map a bit. I want it to be clean. I'm going to turn off labels for points of interest, and I'm also going to get rid of local roads. Only in this map, not for real. And then I'm going to choose a darker color for the road strokes remaining to make some particular things stand out more on the map. Now, it's important to note, it's just a JSON blob. So you can serve it from your site or wherever you want, and you can dynamically restyle the map without having to reload it. No reinitialization necessary. On JavaScript, it's as simple as just calling the set options, and that's it. And of course, this is possible across our range of platforms. You never need to reinitialize the map to change the style. And it's really useful to change the style at runtime because it allows you to respond to user input, to highlight different things on your map. We, in fact, built our WYSIWYG wizard I just showed you doing exactly this. You play with the sliders in the UI, and the map is restyled under the hood at runtime. Let's take a look at what this style will do. Now, we start with a normal map. This is what my initialization function gave me. Any guesses what it'll look like when I apply my style? Yeah, I know I'm the one with the microphone. Well, I'll skip to it. I've reduced it, and it's pretty barren. But it does really highlight the highway on-ramps and off-ramps in a way that can be pretty useful if you're not familiar with them. You know, we can take this further, too. One of our most popular styles is even more reductionist. Here it is, exemplified in our Transport Tracker demo app, which you might have seen around I/O. This map has been simplified so much that it's just the backdrop for some bold foreground colors that really highlight the salient information. But it still provides key, useful geographical information by being a map at a level of granularity that's useful to users. Now, if you want to go the other direction, you can change the overall theme in a way that's a little bolder, might catch the eye a bit more. You can play with these base colors to match your UI or a theme. You could do this to match a brand or to match a particular time of day. Here I've gone for, I guess you could call it a strawberry mocha kind of theme for my coffee shop locator, complete with custom icons for the markers. I'm sure many of you could come up with a better style than this, and please do. We're looking forward to more of your creations. Now, we can also do styling beyond the map. On Android, we now support custom styles for polygons and polylines. These are really useful for conveying custom geographic information in a visual format. So, say if you're building real-world infrastructure, you can use styled polygons and polylines to indicate rollout progress for internal stakeholders or for your end users to get a feel for when your service will reach them. And you can put custom icons on the polyline ends to draw arrows, as well as better differentiate between different kinds of lines with dots, dashes, thickness, and color. Bringing more styling capabilities to our mobile APIs is just the latest example of the work that we've been doing to give you the same options across all of our platforms. We want to give you the capabilities to succeed anywhere. So, with that, let's zoom back out to review a little. I did promise you documentation. We've had a look at a few of our Google Maps APIs and how they can take you beyond a regular map. Our documentation for all of these is right there at developers.google.com/maps. Hopefully very familiar with those of you who've already used it. And in any case where you just need a quick and easy mapping solution to round out your offering, we've shown how you can just delegate that to the Google Maps app using our Maps URLs. And the documentation for that is right there at developers.google.com/maps/URLs. Now, of course, none of this would be possible without all of you. And we're really looking forward to hearing your feedback. So please, if you've got bugs, feature requests, suggestions, or anything, we're going to have Q&A, but also, especially for those of you watching online, you can go to developers.google.com/maps, yes, it's a pattern, /support, and you can see our issue tracker there. We do read this, and we look forward to seeing what you have to say about it. But while you're still here, if you'd like to learn more and have a chat with us, we do have office hours coming up at 5:30 near the entrance. And we're going to have them 5:30 p.m. today and again 8:30 a.m. tomorrow for the early birds. And right after that, in the morning tomorrow, we're going to have our next location and maps track sessions right here again from 9:30 a.m. with my friend Fontaine and 10:30 a.m. with my friend Enko. For all those of you on the live stream and on the recording, you can find these sessions by looking for them by name. Now, thank you all again for coming here to join me today. If you're shocked that this was a bit short, it's because I'm trying to respect the fact that you're still here after 5. Yeah, almost. And all of you online as well. I hope you've enjoyed the session and learned something new. And give our URLs and APIs a try if you haven't already. Thank you.